So welcome, everybody. This is, should have counted beforehand, I think our 12th Zoomin Lumens, including, so we did 2 last year, this is our 10th this year. Excited to have this series keep going. Excited to have AC Lighting with us this year, this time. And yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. If you have questions at any point about anything, well, anything related to the scope of the conversation, just throw it in the chat, and there's some folks from AC that are going to be monitoring the chat and answering log questions, and then I'll bring them up. Anything that's going to look better on camera, I'll bring those up to Darryl as we're talking. But yeah, in the meantime, thanks so much for being here, and Darryl, I'll let you go.
Cool. Hey, thanks, Ned, for having me. Having AC Lighting and ProLights join the Zoomin Lumens. I just want to kind of play a quick little short video and then get into the presentation. So let's see if this whole thing works. New technology for me. So this ought to be fun. Here we go. So that's just a quick little new video that ProLights released from Italy, going over who ProLights is and what they are doing in Italy. For those that don't know, ProLights has been in business and doing lighting for since 1990 in its current iteration. Moving forward, they are focusing in on higher quality light. I mean, the light output, the color consistency of everything LED. So with that being started, I'd like to introduce everybody to a new product that will be arriving very shortly. It is called the ProLights EclPanel TWC. This is a virtual demo, and we're gonna try for the best on some of the videos. You know how this all works. So with that being said, let's get going. So just a brief little look at the fixture. It is a 2x1 full color mixing fixture. So within everything, you do get the color control, hue, saturation. Really great.
She called me, but I saw that her dad had died. Sid.
So really, really good.
And she said,
CRI.
Real quick, hey folks, if you're in the audience, can you make sure you're muted? Thank you.
So within the fixture, it does have CCT control. Pre-programmed into console presets is 28 to 10K. They have recently upped it to 2200 up to 15K that you can get to in film mode. So what that allows the DPs and the gaffers on site is to get the color consistency, the brightness that they're looking for. We also have plus minus green correction. So great thing about that is we can shift it however you need for the camera, adding 25% more green or taking away 25. So all in all, it's very intuitive on how it works. Zone control. So on the EclPanel, this has 8 zones that can be controlled. And within that, each zone can be a CTO, RGB warm white. The total profile for the fixture is 129 channels in single channel mode. Right now we're looking at the GUI interface. So on the back of the panel, there are the 3 knobs for dim, hue, CCT. Now, with that being said, you can also shift that into dim, CCT, plus minus green, XY control, all from the back of the panel. And here's some of the effects that everybody's been asking for within the studio world. All of this can be done, once again, from the back of the panel, or you can drive it from your console. The nice thing about it is that all the profiles are currently available, meaning GDTF through Vista, through pretty much anything that you need. Control-wise, we can grab it. And if it's not there, we'll get it made. So this is kind of a quick little representation of what we can do effects-wise. Once again, it's where a lot of people have been asking for these, where they didn't have to build it. These are built-in macros, and away it goes. So, sorry, I ran out of things to say on this one because I didn't realize it was too long. But as you can see, everything is built in. And I like the fact that you're seeing the effect, but then also they're showing you how to place it within the shot. Coming up here in just a second. So really is a nice, awesome fixture on that part. So with all that being said, all the built-in features for the macros are there. Once again, pre-programmed into the fixture or by console control. Other nice thing too is that it is battery operated, so it will take a 24 to 36 volt battery supply, which is really great for being on location and you don't have power. Basically, your standard Anton Bauer batteries will work as long as it's got a 4-pin out and it's 24 to 36 volt. So within the fixture, it is DMX RDM. It is going to have the new wireless Lumen radio chip on board, which will allow it to receive wireless solutions as well as Lumen radio. It is a transceiver. So what's really nice about that is that you can treat it as a head-in. Once again, 3 rotary knobs for quick control. And within that, you do have your XY control, the hue, saturation, intensity, white points. Pretty much this fixture can be run without a console if need be. List of accessories. So there is a pole operated accessory, barn doors, front diffusion, 30 and 60 degree egg crate, as well as an 8-cell egg crate. And these will all be in stock. This one here I'm really kind of happy about. This is the intensifier. So it adds roughly, it increases the light output by 40% while narrowing it down. Here's what it looks like comparative to. So the intensifier is on the left. The standard medium diffusion is on the right. I do want to add the medium diffusion does come with the fixture, which is kind of a nice adder. Once again, here's some of the newer accessories that will be coming out. There will be a rain cover, soft bags, as well as a center mount yoke. So you can mount to the back and then pivot how you need the fixture to be. As I was speaking earlier, all the personalities are available on the website through GTF all the way down through Vectorworks, Capture, which is really nice. We were asked for Vectorworks about a year and a half ago, and the guys in Italy jumped on it. So there's a full list of the Vectorworks library that you can get to. They also added I don't know if anybody's using Dialux, but they are now part of Dialux. So all that will be in there. So the drawings we have are PDF, 2D, 3D, SketchUp, Revit, and standard 2D blocks. Photometric wise, you can get that in PDF, LDT, which is for Dialux, and IES. Software, that's going to be the Dialux plugin, and also we have all the manuals, tender specifications that you would need at that point. This is going to be kind of hard to read, but this is an example of what we present as the photometric reports. So once again, those can be downloaded in PDF format just by going to the ProLights IT website. And so any questions regarding the the EclPanel?
So you'd said quickly that it came with the medium diffusion.
Yeah.
Is that, so it comes with, is that two that comes with a light and a medium, or just comes with
No,
a medium diffusion?
just the medium. So
Okay, and then it's got the intensifier as well.
yeah,
as an
the
option.
intensifiers, the heavy diffusion, light diffusion, intensifier are added extra, or extra cost. Sorry.
Great.
So the fixture it'll have your standard Edison to PowerCon True One, in and out, of course, on the back of the fixture, and yeah, pretty much a standard. Oh, it does come with a spigot as well. Sorry, I thought I had one, a junior pin with it as well. So thought I had one handy. I don't. My apologies. So yeah, any other questions regarding the fixture?
And it takes, you said it takes 5-pin DMX. Does it take any streaming protocols, or is it everything just single universe 5-pin?
Right now, it's going to be a DMX 5-pin RDM signal.
Okay.
Futures will have streaming ACN, ArtNet, da 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 da. At that point,
Gotcha.
it's yeah, it's coming
Got
for future.
And then, yeah, the only other question we have is does the fixture have an IP rating on it?
IP20,
Copy that.
and that's why the rain cover will be coming as well. Yeah. So the one thing I think I forgot to mention is that the lumen output is like 34,500. So it's extremely bright, soft source. In fact, I can crank mine up here in a little bit if you want to see it. But no, it is high output. I think one of the key points is the XY of how everything's implemented. So within your console, the profile is built so you can have two layers of XY and crossfade between both. So if you need to be crossfaded at or one XY point to be 4,000, you can crossfade over to 10K or a color using the XY coordinates. So it's very versatile on that, which actually leads into the CT. Let's just jump into that. So the CT Plus, it's been around for roughly a year, and it's been a great asset for AC lighting and ProLights together. Just the color quality that comes out of it and the consistency is amazing. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the original FS. The FS kind of kicked off our whole entire ProLights and AC lighting world. That fixture is an RGBL, and it does have a really high CRI for what it is, for being an RGBL. This takes it to the umpteenth level, and as we go through here, you'll understand why. So 96 3-watt 6-color engine, which is red, green, blue, royal blue, mint, and PC amber. Over 100 gels that are built in, redshift with a tungsten emulation, multiple lenses, white presets from 28 to 10K, plus minus green. So the ProLights world is joining into the ECL family of making everything compatible as it moves forward, as in color consistency and matching. Lens barrels. Yes, we have them. this is just a quick overview of the accessories that we have. Yeah, not much to say about lens tubes, right? So, with that being said, 5, 10, 14, 19, 26, 36, 50, just so everybody can see it, 26, 36, 50, and 70. These should be arrived. The 5, 10, 70 should be arriving sometime after the first of the year. We currently stock the 14, 19, 26, 36, and 50. And they are stocked in New York. Just saying.
And just because it's always a question people have with fixtures like this, if they're upgrading an existing inventory where they have, let's say, tungsten fixtures with shutter assemblies and lens tubes, are these interchangeable? Would those legacy industry standard units fit on these fixtures?
They will. The shutter barrel is not a problem. The lens tubes, depending on if you're doing a standard tube versus an EDLT, the major thing that I would say about our lens tubes is that they have been, they're calibrated, not calibrated, it's the wrong choice of words. They make our fixture look great, and the clarity of when you're focusing in and out of, let's say you focus on a pattern at full white, as you shift colors, red, green, blue, da 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 da, you're not seeing an aberration, you're not seeing a shift of the focus. So yeah, it's the lens tube cost, I would invest in new lens tubes. They're well worth it at that point. And we also developed a soft focus kit. And this is magnetic. So you take the shutter barrel off, click it in, reassemble it, and you're done. So no more of it, no more getting lost on a show, getting scratched up to where you'll see a scratch in the lens or in the projection. The nice thing too with the CT Plus is that it does have a 360. As I'm sitting here doing this and notice my camera wasn't on. It does rotate 360, so you can get those odd shapes and get it to where it needs to be. So if you look at the fixture on the left, it is the 19 degree without the filter, and you can see the striations coming through of the LEDs. If you look at the right, that is with the lens filter. So it definitely cleans it up, smooths it up, and becomes not as distracting to the talent. I think some people will get lost when they see multiple colors coming at them through the nodes. They get distracted. This cleans it up. So here's a better look at the engine. The RGB-W is on the left, CT Plus is on the right. What this does, it gives a 20% increased gamut, and that way you can get deeper into the spectrum. We also offer multiple control functions. So there's CMY, RGB, HSI, CCT control, as well as color mixing. The really nice thing about this is if you're on a CMY desk or used to programming in CMY, you dub it in CMY mode and away you go. It just makes life a little bit easier for guys that are used to programming in a certain way. High color, blah, 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 blah. Really high color, high CRI. CRI is 97 on this fixture. You also have your CCT control that you can add tint plus minus, virtual CTO on colors as well. As you can look, sorry, I misspoke there. 92 at 5600 on the RF, 101 at 56 on the RF. RG is 92, RF is 101. So within the control modes, the CT Plus started the XY coordinate path for ProLights. We also implemented what the raw mode, so you can set it in raw and just get to your 6 colors quickly and easily. Everything is calibrated. So the great thing about this is the power supply is actually underdriving the LEDs to hold consistency across the board. So as you start programming, you're not seeing a droop or a drop of quality or output. So it basically keeps everything straight in a consistent line. Thermal compensation is what it's actually called. You can also see where you're not dropping as the fixture heats up. You're not dropping any of the R values at that point as well. So it's really made to run long and not drop or give you any kind of drop in output or color. So there are 2 modes within the fixture as well. There's what is called high quality and then high brightness. High brightness adds about 22% more output, and you're not losing much in the way of the CRI. When I say much, it takes it down to 92, if I'm not mistaken. There's also fan modes. There's total silent. There's balanced, auto, and then full. I think those are kind of self-explanatory for everybody. So just know, and all that can be controlled through RDM as well. So here's just a quick lumen output of the 26 degree at 5600. So it's 6,301 lumens of output at 5 meters. 3 meters, sorry, at 3 meters. So very high output at that point. And here are the CRI values. So as you can see, tungsten is at 93.7 and 97.6 at 56, which is kind of unheard of, getting that high of a CRI at a 56K. And the CCT range goes from 2,800 up to 10K. This I wanted to drop this fixture in just briefly to talk about some of the advancements that ProLights is making. They have come out recently with a full white version of the EclProfile, high brightness, and it comes in 2 flavors, 56 and 32. High CRI. CRI on the 56 is pushing into 97, 98 range. And of course, the 3 blades, multiple lensing. The great thing about the fixture is the lens tubes fit series to series to series. So if you have an FS, those lens tubes are going to fit the CT. The CT lenses are going to fit the FS. It's a great way to keep everything consistent. And briefly, this is just a quick little show that was done in Australia with the CT and the FWs. And of course, the obligatory, hey, let's focus them on the floor shot. So once again, all the information is available on the ProLights website through, all the way from personalities to drawings to photometrics and tech docs. If you're not seeing anything there, please let me know and we will get it to you. And I'm realizing I'm probably running short of time. So guys, that's just a quick brief overview of the EclPanel and the CT Plus. If there's questions, I'll be more than happy to answer now.
So we've got one question in the chat about the preset CCT values on the on any of these fixtures, really.
Okay.
So the question basically is are you calibrating the various pre-programmed CCTs to camera? Are those being tested? And Brad, let me know. I know I'm simplifying the actual hell out of your question, so if I'm oversimplifying, let me know. But what I'm understanding is, are you testing these presets? Are you testing the presets on camera? Are you seeing there is, it's marketed as no color shift. Are you seeing those chromaticity values coming back from the camera at exactly those white points? If that makes sense.
Well, we did a demo in New York about a week ago. We put the EclPanel at 56. It metered right at 56.24. Camera-wise, we didn't have a chance to put it on camera, but I'm not seeing a lot of. Everything seems to be pretty much locked into what is being stated. So if it's 56, it's 56. And I'm probably doing a bad job explaining this. Everything is staying consistent. And if it's not, I mean, that's, camera's going to be camera. That's why we have the CTO and the plus minus green to get to where you need to get. And also following the new ANSI standard with XY, if you read, you're going to get there. I actually did it in my office with my fluorescent lights. I took a little snapshot of the XY, dumped it into this fixture, and I was within 25. So it's pretty much locked in at that point.
Gotcha. So Brad, I see you have your hand raised. Do you want to ask a follow-up question? I don't know that I can unmute you, but Tobin, if you can, I think you're a host. Brad, if you want to ask a follow-up question.
Hello, you got me. Okay. Yeah, essentially what my point is that CRI is an IES standard, not a camera standard. TLCI was designed for three-chip prism cameras. TM30 doesn't relate to the camera. So the only way to relate it to the camera is looking at the camera's electronic chroma signal itself in this response. And every camera has a different response. My point is that when I developed the HS scope to turn around and do this thing, and I did a whole talk on SMPTE recently on it, is that if you calibrate to the camera's electronic chroma response, you'll actually get accuracy for the camera. And that's what I'm saying. For example, all of the values are out there. A color meter shows the electronic response of the sensor in the color meter, not the electronic response of the camera itself, the image sensor. So by going along with the camera's chroma signal, you can actually get things calibrated correctly. And that's what I'm just asking. And the other thing too is to quantify whether or not you had any shift in dimmings. You can look at your electronic chroma signal and see, did any of this shift occur while on camera? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. The guy, let me, there was a current project where they were seeing some oddities in the lower end dimming. They have since chased that out on the panel. I have not seen it on the CT, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I don't have the files with me, but I do have TLCI readings. That might help a little bit better. And if I'm misunderstanding, please let me know at this point.
So it sounds from what you're saying, it sounds like that particular method is not how these presets are arrived at, but with the controls that are available within the fixture, you would be able to fine tune a preset to a particular camera with the XY controls, with plus minus green, with any of those. So even if that is not specifically how those were dialed in at the factory level, there are tools available to fine tune them for whatever your preferred method of measurement is. And Chris makes a good point in the chat that demo fixtures are available. So whatever, if you have your local Barbizon office can help coordinate a demo, can help bring a fixture in for you to try out, for you to test, for you to do any of those finer tuning on to see if it's going to work for your situation. So yeah, folks, any other questions? Just go ahead, drop those in the chat. I know we had a question about, I'd love to just see, I know you've got the panel behind you. If there's anything you want to do live to that would be great. And there's a couple of other questions. It's pointed at a webcam. The limitations are what they are, but.
So this is being shot off. This is at full intensity. It's in an XY mode right now. As I knock it off my work table, I'm using a Sony A6400 with a Sigma 16mm lens, and I don't have the best of camera settings, but this is, red. I don't know if that's showing through at all.
No, it absolutely is.
So this is, blue, of course, and red. A little bit of amberish. And there you go.
I got a question, guys.
Yeah.
You may have covered this already. I apologize if it's a repeat. What is phosphor coated amber, and what does that do to our color and color mixing?
It's a way of, I don't want to compare it to another fixture, but it actually makes it a truer amber at that point, if that helps.
So it's a remote phosphor just for that one chip?
What does the phosphor do?
Yes, it is only on the amber.
Oh, so phosphor is actually added to the chip, and the phosphor is glowing as you need it to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just makes it a truer color representation at the end by adding it.
If you were to remove it, would it be UV? The coated part?
Sure. Yeah. Let me get on the phone with Fob.
I'm just curious as to why it's coated. That's all. I'm just curious as to the design.
It's I do not have the answer, but I will get it for you. It's been, yes, I will get you an answer on exactly what it is and pass it along.
Just if there's anybody on the call who's not familiar with what these words mean. So remote phosphor refers to, rather than the individual chip being calibrated, it excites a layer of phosphor that is calibrated to glow at a specific white, usually a white point. So there are fixtures, the whole unit is remote phosphor. So you've got a bank of very deep blue quasi UV LEDs that excite that layer of phosphor for it to emit. The benefit, as Darryl was saying, is that it's a very well calibrated, very true light on the white light spectrum. And since amber can be considered the very low end of the white light spectrum, you can calibrate a color right in there.
So I want to briefly show off the intensifier lens. I think if you look at the construction, it actually has 4 bands around it to keep it from getting scratched up. To change it, if I can find I had to put blackouts today because the presentation had a bunch of green screen. It was dancing heads. So please forgive me for a second. So this is the standard medium diffusion. I know it's hard to see. And that's actually the inside of the fixture. Not that you can see that, but and change the lenses. There's 2 tabs on top. Pop it up. And where's the knob? So that's with the intensifier. Don't know if that helps at all, but
So what's the native? I know the intensifier brings in that beam angle. Where is the beam angle with the medium diffuser, and then what does the intensifier bring it down to?
the intensifier brings it down to 70 degrees. 109 on the medium. That's
Gotcha.
beam. Field will also,
Sure.
180 right
It's a
at that
panel.
point. So this one here really, the guys, the demo we did in New York, the guy was just absolutely blown away by what it was, how we could direct it, especially with barn doors. He was extremely excited about what was going on with it.
Awesome.
So
We do have one question in the chat about, so we talked a little bit about future fixtures taking SACN ArtNet direct to the head. Do you know if those are going to be EtherCon, so that entertainment style connector on those fixtures, or is that too far out now?
it will.
Okay,
At that
awesome.
point, once again, that's going to be future advancements in shortly, especially on the panels. The moving fixtures already have it. Like if you were to look at the Pixie Wash XB, which is a little 280 watt moving head zoomable wash, it has built-in Ethernet connector on it, as well as
Gotcha.
wireless. So, yeah. I was just, everybody's done ArtNet. I was just really excited to hear about streaming ACN. So,
Absolutely. No.
I like streaming ACN a little bit better.
And any fixture that can take multiple protocols is going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah, please forgive me if I've said this, but the fixtures coming over, the panels will be the first fixtures with the new Lumen Radio TMO chips. So we're really excited about that. And yeah, that's.
So yeah, folks, if you've got any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're coming up on we're almost at 15 minutes out, so we're at 1:40, or depending on what time zone you're in, blank 40. But Darryl, if there's anything else you want to show, if there's any other fixtures you want to talk about, we do have a little bit of time. So
I don't have any. I've got an 8x8 office. I don't know what else to. The only thing I can say is if you do need a demo, reach out to Barbizon. The fixtures, I can sit here all day and talk about them and give you an idea what they do. Put them in your space, put them in your location, tear them apart. That's how we grow. That's how we get better doing what we do. And I will mention this too, is that there's a fairly large film shoot going on in Atlanta right now. The first build I got was 2.6. Within 3 days, we were up to 2.9 because of all the things that the DPs and the gaffers were seeing. So Italy's response time back to the consumer is extremely fast. They pride themselves in that. So I hate to say it, but it is because it's such a cliche, but we are family. We are a giant family between AC, ProLights. I wish Fred was here because he could talk about it a little bit more. than I can. But the whole entire reason behind AC Lighting and ProLights joining together was because our 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 business practices matched into each other, and we're here about quality and to ultimately take care of you as Barbizon and your clients at the end of the day.
Hey, Darryl,
Yes, sir.
Jason here. Just a few questions for you, mate. Just with regarding to availability, stock, and obviously customer support. So ProLights being, an Italian brand, AC Lighting being their North American distributor and partner. Tell us a little bit about, one, availability and stock, and two, how is customer service and support and any repairs, warranties, how are those being handled through you guys, and where?
Okay, so warranty wise, right now, ProLights wise, the static fixtures, like the CT, the FS, are a 3-year warranty. We do have ways of increasing that as need be. Service right now would be done through Toronto. So what we do, we have a holding pin in New York, then it gets shipped from New York over the border. So you're not having to worry about customs or anything like that. Stocking. So we made a concerted effort about 6 months ago to stock within New York. So you're not having to worry about border issues. Everything that I mentioned, other than the FW and the panel, are stocked in New York at this time. So what that allows us to do is actually respond quicker without.
Hey, Darryl.
Yes, sir.
Can we just make sure to emphasize that currently it is just ProLight stocked in New York, not any other of the AC lines at this time?
Sorry, I got to take hide this real fast. Yes, all ProLights fixtures are stocked in the U.S. Thank you, Chris. But as far as like software updates, that's rarely found online. If you cannot find that, drop me an email, and we'll get that to you. Calibration wise, we have taken some things back into Toronto and recalibrated if need be. The whole entire principle behind everything we're doing is to offer the best customer support that we can, and that means we've brought more people in over the last month or so for the CSRs within the office. This is AC. The techs, if the guys up in Toronto can't fix it, then it's the guys in Italy. We talk to the guys in Italy about getting it fixed and how to fix it if we can't figure out what's going on.
Hey, Darryl, I may have.
Question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you have a question, so you go first.
All right, sounds good. Just the question is, what can you talk about future plans? Specifically, it was about Fresnel's, but bearing in mind that this is being recorded and will be posted online, what can you talk about products coming up?
I think that would be better taken offline. I will say though that, and I'm kind of being funny, but the commitment to the brand is there. We are adding fixtures regularly right now, and trying to offer the best solution for, once again, the clients as well as Barbizon. Fresnel's it's something that's being looked at very heavily.
Copy that.
Yeah, there'll be some exciting stuff happening moving into next year that I believe will make everybody's life a little bit happier, as in products. And I know that's very. I just don't want to be recorded saying something I'm not supposed to.
Totally fair. Just not that you're not supposed to, just that your product will fix everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yes,
Upcoming
yes.
products, absolute panacea. All right, copy that. Wonderful.
Where's my mute button?
If you could have shown us that years ago, that would have been great.
Yeah. Thanks,
Darryl,
Chris.
if you could, and it's possible I missed this while I was answering a few questions during the chat, you about calibration and some of the ability to redo calibration on the newer fixtures. Unfortunately, not available on the older stuff. But
yeah, thank you, Chris. That I forgot to totally bring it up. So within the CT, everything is calibrated. If for some reason you were to lose that calibration, all you have to do is send us the serial number, and I can bring it back to square one, back into where it left the factory at, serial number wise. So with each CT, you get a calibration sheet of what it was tested at. So if for some reason something goes wonky, you send me the serial number, I can dig up the file, send it to you, you can shoot it back on. Within the panel, the calibration lives on the fixture. So if you were to lose a side of the panel, you plug a new one in and it calibrates. So it's less stressful. It's you're not having to go, well, does that look right? Does that look right? No, it calibrates itself at that point. So don't know if that answers or helps Chris.
It's good to know. That's a fairly unique feature.
Yeah.
It's not something a lot of
Yes.
people are offering. Perfect. Yeah, I'm can store. Yeah, okay. So custom question: can you store custom CCT values the end user creates? So can you, other fixtures? There's sort of a radio preset idea where you can store certain values. Is that something you can do with a quick recall on any of these fixtures?
Yes. So you can put it into master. Is that there's an Uno that you can Uno channel. I'm saying this wrong. There is a mode to where you can set the fixture up to be 3950 with a green shift stored as a user preset without the console. You can go on site, hit the button, and it's going to be that setting. And it was a request from some of the corporate companies as well as some of the film guys. We're like, hey, we just need to send these out. We don't want anybody to think. Plug it in and go. So,
Sure.
And I believe it holds that look. Yes, it'll hold that look after you unplug it. So you're basically plugging in and going. And that's the crazy thing about the CT is that there's an Uno mode, a duo mode. Uno is just basically one preset, and you can run it as a dimmer. So you go there, set it at 4,000, acts as a dimmer. Duo will give you like a fine dim and a dim, XY, RGB, CMY, HSI. Those are just standard, and what they do there is it color mixes in the RGB, CMY range to save on channels. As you get into the extended modes, that's when you start getting the crossfade between RGB, color temp, CTO. It opens up the whole entire gamut of the fixture. But I have put the CT in RGB mode on a stage CL, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It hit the white points. So if you need to save channels, you can do RGB. If you don't, what I'm trying to get to, there are so many different features and options to run the fixture that there shouldn't be a complaint about, hey, what channel do how do I run this? I think the crossfade and being able to set within the CT, so you can set the fixture at 56, and I can still color mix within that range of CCT of 56, which is really nice. Because it's going to add more of that bluish look into the color picker.
Awesome.
Don't know what else to say on that.
No, that was, I mean, I answered that and more. So we're happy to stick around if folks have questions, but otherwise I'll go ahead and just sort of button it up. Thanks again, everybody, for attending. Thanks to Darryl, everybody at AC, everybody at ProLight for helping us out and putting this on with us. And again, if you've got questions, contact your local Barbizon, reach out to anybody at AC, and either we can help you, they can help you. Whatever's gonna work to get the problem solved. If you want demo fixtures, reach out to Barbizon, and we'll get something coordinated.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks again, everybody. Again, if you got questions, we're happy to stick around. But other than that, we will see you next time.